Dear friend, there is a spiritual law that very few people in the world understand. When God wants to change your life, He will start by taking you away from everything that is familiar, and He often does it very quietly by making you home alone. Not for a day, not for an hour, but for a period. You may not understand why your energy suddenly recedes, why you no longer want to see anyone, why plans are canceled, why life seems to be pulling you home to silence. But as Paramahansa Yogananda said, when the soul is about to enter a new chapter, God closes all the outer doors and opens an inner door. The energy of the universe always has its own rhythm, like breathing. Sometimes we breathe in, sometimes we breathe out. The moment you are held at home is the soul's inhalation, a contraction to prepare for expansion. If you look at things with your normal eyes, you will think you are lonely, slowing down, blocked by life. But if you look with the eyes of your soul, you will see you are being led into a sacred ritual, a ritual of returning to yourself. Buddha once said, "There is no path to awakening except through silence." Yogananda expands. God is always speaking to you. You are just too busy to listen. That is when the voice of God becomes closest. Why God makes you stay home alone. Little known spiritual truth. When you stay home alone for a long time, what do you think is happening? Do you think you are being delayed? Do you think you are being abandoned? Do you think life is closing in on you? Never. If God wants you to stay home alone, it is because He has work to do in your soul. And there are three great truths that Yogananda always emphasizes. 1. Your soul is raising its frequency. You need to be isolated energetically to restructure. People who enter the stage of raising their frequency experience exactly the same thing. You no longer want to be around anyone. This is not a coincidence. This is the law of energy. When your frequency is being raised, your body is more sensitive. Your mind is deeper, your intuition is stronger, your energy field changes, your light increases, and you need space to do that. In quantum physics, every upgrade requires empty space. In Kriya Yoga, Kundalini energy can only be upgraded in silence. And in Yogananda's words, you have to let go of the old so that the new can enter. God separates you not to make you lonely, but to protect you from the wrong energies. Because if you continue to be in noisy places, continue to be with people who tire you out, continue to repeat old habits, you will ruin the process of raising your frequency. So what does He do? He gently pulls you home. 2. God doesn't want you to be distracted. He wants to talk to you. Yogananda said, "A soul cannot hear God when it is full of human voices." When you are alone at home, you are not only alone with space, you are alone with God. You begin to hear again, your intuitive voice, your spirit's calling, your heart's true needs, your inner guidance, your soul's revelations, your forgotten mission, the teachings you once listened to but buried under the noise of life. God cannot talk to you when you are rushing through life. He chooses when you are at home, when you are quiet, to come closest to you. How many times have you realized, when you are quiet, you understand yourself better? When no one is around, you are most real. When things slow down, you see life more clearly. You don't do it yourself. It's God working with your soul. Free, you're being pulled out of relationships that no longer serve you. One of the most profound truths Yogananda ever said. God will take away whatever is not your soul. And the way He takes it is often very gentle. He makes you not want to see anyone anymore. He closes the energy. You don't want to talk. You don't want to prove. You don't want to get involved in drama. You don't want to get involved in other people's chaos. You think it's tiring, but really, it's protection. People who are not on the same frequency will gradually leave you. People who only suck your energy will disappear. Toxic relationships will no longer attract you. Old habits will naturally become boring. All of these are signs that God is pulling you back to your true path. 4. Divine rearrangement. The universe's rearrangement. When life forces you into silence, it's because the universe is rearranging everything. New job, new people, a new journey, a new frequency, a new version of you. But to open up to the new, you must separate from the old. And the separation phase always happens through silence and solitude. This is the law. You cannot enter chapter 10 of your life if you are still clinging to chapter 7. So God puts you at home, where there are no distractions, to make this transition. 5. Yogananda says clearly, loneliness is not emptiness. Loneliness is when your soul begins to listen. You think you are being left behind, but the truth is, you are being called home. You feel disconnected from the world, but in reality, you are connected to God. It is your soul that is asking for this stillness. Signs that God is trying to separate you from the world. My dear friend, you will see very clear signs that God is trying to separate you from the world, to prepare you for a new phase, deeper, brighter, more awake. 1. You are no longer interested in the things that used to make you happy. Yesterday, you may have loved going out, chatting, texting, socializing, enjoying the sounds and bustle of life. But suddenly, you no longer want to. You don't want to be in crowded places. You don't want to engage in meaningless conversations. You don't want to chase anyone. You don't want to get involved in drama or disturbing energy. You are no longer interested in the pastimes you used to have. Many people are afraid of this, but I say this to you with understanding. It is a sign of spiritual maturity. Yogananda once said, "The mature soul will no longer feel joy in the things that make the world happy." When you no longer feel joy in the things that belong to the old, it is because your inner energy is preparing to move to a higher frequency. 2. You feel tired when you are around some people. Not necessarily because they are bad, not necessarily because they are toxic. It is simply a different vibration. Whenever you are around someone whose energy frequency is lower than yours, you will feel tired, have difficulty breathing, feel bored, feel disconnected, feel like your energy is being sucked away, want to leave immediately. This is not because you are unfriendly. It is because God is protecting you from energies that are not compatible with the process of raising your frequency. He is saying, you no longer belong in this environment. Free. Old doors keep closing. You want to cling to something, it leaves. You want to pursue someone, they move away. You want to hold on to a relationship, it falls apart. You want to hold on to a job, it ends. You want to maintain an old habit, it no longer works. You may think you are unlucky, but the truth is, God closes everything that no longer serves a mission for your soul. He takes it away to prepare for something better. He closes it to open a door you cannot see now. People taken from you, not lost, but liberated. Places you no longer go, not restricted, but protected. For you feel like life is forcing you to stop. Everything slows down. Less work, less calls, less interaction, less relationships, less outside activity, less need to communicate. The whole world seems to take a step back from you. In fact, it is the sacred law of transformation. Before the soul enters a new chapter, it must be in a state of stillness. Like an arrow, it must be pulled back to fly far. 5. Your intuition becomes unusually strong. You begin to sense what is wrong before it happens. See the truth in the words of others. Hear the inner calling. Know what is coming. Hear God speak through intuition. Yogananda reminds, when the soul is ready, intuition becomes the language of God. This is the clearest sign that you are being led, no longer being dragged along by life. 6. You strangely crave silence. You want to turn off your phone. You want to walk alone. You want to meditate longer. You want to listen to meditation music. You don't want noise. You don't want anyone to interfere with your energy space. And you feel most at peace when there is no one. This is not depression. This is not you withdrawing. This is a return. As Yogananda said, the soul always wants to return to the simplicity and peace of God. 7. You feel like you are changing, but you don't know who you are becoming. This is a very important stage. You know you are not the same person anymore, but you also don't know who you are becoming. A gap, a corridor between two worlds, a floating, but rest assured, this is the transformation. In yoga, this is called antarmauna, the silence within, where the old falls away and the new has not yet fully formed. You are being reborn. How will your inner state change when you return home within yourself? When you truly return within, your inner self will change so drastically that you will no longer recognize the old version of yourself. Here are the deepest, most subtle, most sacred changes you will experience. 1. You become peaceful in a way that no one can take away. When peace comes from the outside world, it is very easy to lose. A wrong word, a look, an unexpected event is enough to break it. But when peace comes from within you, it is no longer dependent on anyone. You are at peace even when things are chaotic. You are at peace even when people don't understand you. You are at peace even when life is challenging. Yogananda said, "True peace is found when you are no longer controlled by external circumstances." This is the greatest result of the journey back to the inner self. You are no longer easily shaken by life. 2. You have a penetrating view into the nature of all things. From things, events, to people, to yourself, everything becomes clearer. You feel the truth without analysis. You hear what no one says. You see the essence behind actions, behind words, behind events. This is spiritual wisdom, or inner vision. When you return within, intuition opens, and you see with the eyes of the soul, no longer with the eyes of the ego. Sun with phase 3. You are no longer attached to the old, no longer struggling to hold on. What goes away, you let it go. What stays, you look at with mindfulness. What comes, you receive without expectation. You begin to understand that what belongs to you is never lost. What does not belong to you cannot be held. This is true freedom. This is the liberation that Yogananda spoke of. For you feel a new inner strength, strong but light, deep but soft. Not the strength of the ego, not the strength of resistance, not the strength of control. This is the power of self-mastery, the power of silence, the power of letting go, the power of knowing oneself, the power of having nothing to prove anymore. Paramahansa Yogananda called it the power of the soul that has remembered its origin. 5. You begin to love simplicity. You no longer need as much as before, no longer want to show off, no longer want to prove, no longer want to assert yourself through the praise of others. You find happiness with a cup of tea, a quiet morning, a meditation, a book, a breath, a warm silence, and you realize you no longer lack anything. 6. You see God in everything. This is the deepest transformation. You don't just believe in God. You feel Him. You see Him in every breath. You hear Him intuitively. You touch the divine presence in your daily life. Yogananda taught, when your mind is quiet, you will see that God has never left you for a second. When you go inside, you will realize you are not alone. You have never been alone. God is always within you. Every morning, sit still for 5 minutes, but the silence of the mind, not the body. Yogananda taught, the silence of the mind is the launching pad for the soul to fly. You don't have to meditate for long, but meditate deeply. Sit down, put your hand on your heart, and just ask, God, what do you want me to understand today? Don't try to hear, don't try to feel, just sit. The answer will come like a breeze, silent but powerful. Place your awareness on your breath as if you were listening to God whisper. Repeat 108 times in silence. Your vibration will rise high enough for your intuition to begin working.